All right, if you've been following along with the world records going on in the marathon, talking about Kipchoge doing a sub 2 hour marathon, there's been an additional issue with whether his shoes were too much of a mechanical advantage. He was running in a version of the Vaporfly Next Percents that is unreleased, and these shoes had air pillows in them and a couple layers of carbon plate, and basically some people were complaining that basically that was acting as a spring in a shoe, giving him an unfair mechanical advantage. Whether or not that's true or accurate, or something that's going to be an issue or not, that's to be discussed by the IAAF, I guess, or IIAF, and I'll make a decision on that. But today we're going to talk about a shoe that has actual springs in it. So they're not talking about carbon plates that are on top of each other, act as a spring. We're talking about a shoe that has actual springs in it. It has one spring in the heel, two springs in the forefoot. Let me know. Leave a comment down below. Take a guess. What shoe brand am I talking about? Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Today we're doing a new shoe review. Today we're talking about the Spira Stinger XLT. Check these out right here. So today we're going to do a quick overview of the shoe, talk about some of its features, and then we're going to take it out for a spin. We're going to do some moderate, easy run tempo in there, a couple high tempo, and a little bit of speed work in these shoes, just to see how they can handle the different speeds. And then I'll give an overview of what I think, or a summary of what I think of my initial impressions of these shoes, and whether or not the springs in these shoes actually have give me an advantage, make me feel faster. So like I said, these are the Spira Stinger XLT running shoe by Spira. This shoe company has been around for a little while, since the 2000s at least, maybe the 90s. I actually wore a pair of these back in the mid 2000s and did a half Ironman in them actually, and had some issues with them, but I'm not going to talk about those issues. They've revamped the shoe a little bit, especially the upper. This is a very firm shoe, I can tell you right away. It is also a little heavy. It's 10 ounces. It also has a 9mm drop from heel to toe, and with a stack height of 31mm in the back, which makes it 20-ish in the front. And it's been a long day, I don't feel like doing math. So 9mm heel drop. And what else I'm going to say about it? It's got a kind of an engineered mesh upper. It doesn't feel very soft. It's got a separate tongue as well, and the tongue is kind of plasticky. If I could use that word, I guess is the best term. Look at that. That's the tongue right there. Feels a little plasticky to me. Heavy. It's got all rubber on the outsole here, so you can see it's all rubber, so it should have no problems with durability, although from my past experience I've had some durability issues with these. And yeah, they got segmented forefoot to heel, so they're kind of separated. You can see that there. And yeah, that's about it. So we're gonna take them out, take them for a spin, and oh, let's talk about price, since I forget about the price all the time. These are pretty expensive, like $130 for these shoes, and really nobody knows about them. Many years ago when Spira first came out, there was some discussion about having springs in the shoes, and for the Boston Marathon, and whether that became an unfair advantage. I don't know what the conclusion was, but they were worn for the Boston Marathon many years ago. And like I said, there's two springs. You can see where two circles are. There's two springs there, and in the heel there's one spring inside the midsole, so you can't see the springs obviously, but they're apparently in there, very small springs. And so now we're gonna take them out for a spin, see if I can feel the springs. You can see if I feel springy in my step today. And yeah, it's kind of feeling like spring out here, which is actually, it's fall, but I just feel like saying the word spring. So let's go tigger this. All right, we got about 4 miles done, and getting my thoughts together on what I think of the shoes. I'm going to start with the obvious stuff first. Did not feel the springs at all. Nothing. I tried even to imagine the springs compressing and decompressing at each time I took a step and propelling me forward. I felt none of that. Not at all. In fact, the midsole, combination of the midsole and the outsole make the shoe feel dead. Yeah, I just kind of felt like I was plodding along, like I was just kind of running on cardboard, basically. Just no cushion, no rebound. The only time I feel any kind of cushion is if I heel strike while walking, really. I'm actually trying to do it right now. There's not a whole lot of arch support, a little bit. They are super protective, can I say. The outsole, with it all being rubber, you don't feel anything in the road, so you don't feel any stones or twigs or anything like that. So there's protection from road debris and stones, but not a whole lot of cushion at all, really. No rebound, as you would feel in like a really cushioned shoe, like the Nike Vaporflies or even the Hokas. None of that. The upper feels okay, actually. The upper, when I was handling it and putting the shoe on, felt really stiff, but the upper actually doesn't feel too bad. Feels pretty good, pretty strong and secure too. And I don't feel like it's going to break down anytime soon. The tongue, I was concerned about the tongue because it felt like plastic, but I don't feel the tongue like digging into my foot, really. That felt okay, so not a problem. The upper was actually okay. They don't look like they fit real great on my foot, and I don't know why. They just maybe the forming of the shoe seems a little off, in my opinion, but that's my foot. What else can I say? Somewhat flexible. We'll go back to the outsole and everything. Somewhat flexible, not a whole lot of flex. The segment between the forefoot and the heel, I think, helps a little bit. Having that bridge, that gap between them, I think helps a little bit. So that's what I have to say about those. They probably need a little bit more breaking in, but again, I don't feel anything that springs in the forefoot. I try not to land on my heel too much, but don't feel much of the springs. Very firm outsole, midsole, and without a lot of energy return. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description where you can buy these shoes. Interesting enough, Spira, the company, I don't think it exists anymore. If you go to spira.com, the website doesn't work. At least it didn't yesterday when I looked at it. So the website doesn't work, but you can buy them on Amazon, you can buy them at other places. I will give you an Amazon link, and if you try them out yourself. And oh, Zappos, you can also buy them from Zappos as well. So if you have a membership there, you can actually buy shoes without a membership there at Zappos. Give them a try. If you don't like them, return them. And so yeah, anyway, that's what I think about that. They felt a little heavy because they're 10 ounces, because they are heavy. The springs in the shoes didn't help with the weight at all. I felt like I was just carrying around springs. The springs are metal, by the way, stainless steel, I believe. So it's not like just they're plastic or rubber or anything like that. They're actually legitimate springs, and I'll show images of that in the video here, so you see what the springs look like. And that's about it. Anyway, we will be doing other videos that are not shoe review related. For those who want something other than shoe reviews, we're gonna work on something with pelvic tilt. So check out a video coming up soon where I discuss pelvic tilt and its impacts on running and cycling too, and how to either prevent it or remedy pelvic tilt. So anyway, give a big thumbs up on the video, leave any comments down below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, be part of the family here, and until next time, peace.